Welcome back to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture podcast that says, hey, look at that thing. I think that's the tagline I like the best. I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth Stanton, and with me is our other host,
Chris Mack and Carrie ain't shit. That's all I want to say it right now before we get started. She ain't shit. She's the worst. I don't understand how people are like, ooh, she's my favorite character. Ooh, I'm such a Carrie. She's the worst. She is the worst. Who would want to be this woman? She is the worst.
But she lives such a fabulous
Fuck
life.
that. Fuck that.
Before we get started, so this is airing right like 3 days after the premiere of And Just Like That, the rebooted Sex and the City series. I know the big spoiler. Chris does not. Do not tell him the spoiler, because we are going to be working through the series as intended, and he has never seen any of it. There's going to be no fun if you tell him what happens. So we are aware that the series rebooted. We're not ignoring it but it's because we're back in season 3.
Well, I'm not even sure if I even want to see the reboot because my girl Samantha was not in any of the advertising. So is it even really Sex and the City without Samantha?
I'm watching the first episode after we finish tonight, and I've heard that there's like, you sense the lack of Samantha. And I can imagine that is very
She was
true.
the Sex in the City. She was the sex.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get to the episode at hand here. So
we're talking. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Are on season 3, episode 10, All or Nothing. Which, side note, also a really decent O-Town song.
Oh my god! I'm mad he said it because I was about to say that too.
Okay, this is why we started the podcast together.
God damn it!
Yeah, Liquid Dreams, filthiest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Oh
in
my
god,
life. Yo, real talk. I don't know how they got away with those lyrics. It's basically saying we fucking. I don't know how else to say it.
Liquid Dreams is like, I jerk it every night to a horrific collage of all of these people.
Low-key, it was. I feel like
fucking 13-year-old me out there is like, I like a girl with
no, you know what's
got
great
the
though?
star.
That was, if you think about it though, that's perfect. It was like the song came out at the perfect time for like our age group, because that was like we were like 12, 13. Because that's exactly what we did. Like, especially as guys, like our fantasy was like taking magazine cutouts and trying to make like the perfect girl.
Frankenstein, the perfect woman.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. And I bet you somebody probably did masturbate to a few of those put together. Oh yeah.
Real fast, the other dirty song I love that cracks me up, especially in hindsight, is Digital Get Down from NSYNC. Yep. So fucking funny.
It was talking about Skype porn.
And my friend and I were driving to Vegas like this year, and I had made like the ultimate boy band mix or whatever, and that came up and we were like bopping along, and then we cracked up because what do you call it? If you're in the mood and I'm not home, here's what you do: leave a message, the kind I like to get back to. You're like, wait, you leave a voicemail? Yeah. We cracked up, like, oh my god.
I think I honestly, even if you're in a relationship, I feel like if I left a sexy voicemail on some girl's phone, she would probably like break up with me. She'd be like, what's wrong with you? I'm at work.
First of all, why did you call? No one calls anymore. What are you, a telemarketer?
Text me this shit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Also, it's better to text too, because like at least the person in their head, when they read it, they can read it how they want to hear it. And it can be good. But if you like send a voicemail, now you're saying it the way you say it, and you may not have the sexiest way of saying things.
Well, actually, this isn't as much of a tangent as I thought, because I just looked at our notes, and this very heavily ties into what Miranda is up to this episode. We want to get through her plot first.
Yeah, right. Let's go right into it, please. Yeah. Let's go to it.
She is like at lunch with the girls. We'll get into what they're all doing there later. But she, like, a coworker of hers stops by and is like flirty, and they have a date, and then they get home and he's like, I can't stay the night. I really, really, really want to. I have to catch this early flight, though there's just no dice. But then it's okay because they end up having phone sex. Like,
stop. I gotta stop it right there. I personally think that this dude is more into phone sex than actual sex. Because let me tell you something. I don't care who you are. If you are a man and you're about to get some, you don't give a fuck about no early flight. You'll just stay awake. You'll go get a coffee after you're done or some shit like that. Like, you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The tiredness would be worth it because you could just sleep on the plane thinking about the good sex you just had. Ain't no man just being like, all right, I got an early flight. I got to listen. We're not that responsible. I don't care what age we are. We are not that responsible. Let me tell you something, ladies. If you ever got a man that says he got an early flight and he ain't coming home to smash, he fucking somebody else, or he gay, or he like phone sex, or some other fetish, like or it's just you, maybe. I don't know, because ain't no man passing up getting some ass, because like you can get some ass and still make your flight, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
It never sleeps. Dude, I took a train. I had to catch a flight at or I had to get. I could take a train from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. to get to my plane that left at 5. I had plenty of time to get some. I didn't do it, but I'm saying I had plenty of time to get some ass, to get to the train, and still make my flight. Like, it's not that hard, bro.
Yeah.
New York is way too easy to get around. Stop playing.
Yeah. But they have phone sex multiple times, and then one time Miranda's interrupted by call waiting, which why would you even answer it at that hour? Like while you're having phone sex.
For real though. Like, you don't answer it. That person, if it's that important, they'll call back. It's okay.
Yeah. But it's Charlotte who's panicking about her plot line, like which I said we'll get to in a minute. And Miranda like brushes her off, and they get back to the phone sex. Then at the end, her guy gets like interrupted call waiting, puts her on hold, and then comes back and like starts the sex narrative in like a completely different spot. She's like, "That's not what we were doing," and he was like, and then she's like, "Are you having phone sex with other people?" He's like, "Look, we never said we were exclusive," and then she just hangs up on him.
I mean, listen,
the end of that.
I have to side with him. They didn't say like
that's true.
They had like barely even started dating at this point.
Yeah.
Like they had one date, so like there was no reason for her to feel like this was an exclusive thing. And I don't think he ever said this was exclusive or anything like that, or even hinted to it. So he wasn't wrong there. However, if you're gonna be having sex with, here's my thing. I don't understand how you as a man, like, I don't know what got in his head. Like, he must have drunk some arrogant juice that morning, something like that. How are you gonna have phone sex with 2 people at the same time? Like, what do you think you are?
Yeah,
you can't.
Or yeah, that's weird. Like, I was slightly confused. I was like, did he put the first girl on call waiting on hold, call Miranda, or Miranda called him maybe, and he put the first girl on hold. They got to the point that they were at,
right,
and then maybe the other one hung up, called back, and that was the call. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Or did he just like forget where they were? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, I don't think he forgot where they were. No, I think he was having sex with phone sex, with another woman while he was doing it with Miranda, and he just lost track of who. Because remember, at the time when he got caught, he's the one that clicked over.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and then he thought I guess he's talking to the same girl or whatever. But yeah, he
talk about a 3-way call.
I mean, at least he could have, like, bruh, if you're gonna be that bold, at least you could have like seen if she was into like another girl being on the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Then you could do an actual 3-way call.
You do a 3-way call. I've actually had phone sex threesome. It was weird.
I bet.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's just weird because also too, it was 2 guys and 1 girl. So it's like kind of weird because we were both like saying things to the girl, but like I could hear his voice when he's saying it to her. I was like, I'm done.
This isn't working for me.
I put everything away and just verbally played along to the game towards the end. I was like, this is weird. I don't want to hear my friend's voice while I'm trying to like make love to this girl.
And you know what's super funny though about this little plot line? This feels like such a Samantha plot.
I know.
And it's a Miranda one. So it's a nice change of pace. It's just.
But
funny.
You know what though? But Miranda would be the lawyer who fucked up because she would be having sex with more than one guy. Having sex with more than one guy, and then she'd fuck up and like click over and be like, "Oh shit, sorry, where were we?"
Yeah.
That's her because she's silly like that, man. She be making me laugh. Oh man, that's wild though. But that's like, I guess that's why we never hear from this guy again.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just like so inconsequential. Like he was like in and out. But like, Okay, now let me ask you this: if you were having phone sex with somebody that you had just started dating, would you be upset by this situation?
Um, I think a little, but like
Okay.
if we never said we were formally exclusive,
Yeah.
You gotta just put your parameters up front,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
I think I would be mad just for the simple fact that like you can't keep track of your shit. Like I don't even
Yeah.
know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool that you. I would assume that we just started dating. That you may be doing this with other people or whatever. That's fine. But
I
like,
think I would be
at
mad
least
that
keep
like
up.
you
Yeah,
don't,
just keep up with it. Just like
yeah,
follow the shit, bro. Like if you
that
don't,
you don't
yeah,
like,
or don't do it with when I'm on the
yeah.
phone. Like if you're having phone sex with other people, that's fine. Like don't be on the phone with me and doing it with the other person too. Like Jesus, come on, bro. Don't throw it in my face.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Also, too, because he did set himself up for her to get that angry with how, like, because remember before they even started having phone sex, they had spent like a whole week of like talking on the phone for
Yeah.
like 2 hours. So he did, I guess in a way, he did kind of maybe lead her on a little bit to make
Yeah.
it think like it was
That's
just a them thing, you know?
And that would bug me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I take it back now. Yeah, he's kind of a dick. Cool.
All right.
Who's next?
Who's next? We got Charlotte, Samantha, and I know you're saving Carrie for last. So
let's go with Samantha. Let's go with my girl. Yeah, let's have a little levity. Let's have a little fun.
So Samantha, let's see, is having a housewarming at her fancy new apartment in the Meatpacking district.
Yes.
And she talks about using a home delivery service, which is so futuristic at the time, but now we deliver everything. And I have to side note very quickly. I'm very upset. The guest door code on my building has not been working with my phone, and I told management about it. And a couple times I've ordered, I have had to get up and go downstairs to get the stuff from the door. No fucking thank you. That is not what I signed up for.
Exactly. No, you said that I had these amenities, and this is what I'm supposed to get. I 100% agree with that.
And they said, okay, well, if it doesn't work this way, they can always look you up. I'm at the end of the alphabet. It's not an easy lookup thing on the call box. And when you do that and dial my name anyway, it still doesn't do the right thing. So I emailed and they have not gotten back to me. And so I need to follow up. So that's why I feel Samantha's pain.
Well, that's I understand these because like I just moved into my new place and like there's like I already had to like request maintenance on shit and it's been a week and they still haven't shown up or called or said anything. I'm just like, what is this? What is this?
Annoying.
Like, because here's the thing. The only thing that says is like, you know, just like your situation, it's like you expect 100% of the rent, so I should expect 100% of the amenities. So if you tell me you provide all these things and they're not provided, then that means I should not pay 100% of the rent, right? Like I should pay like 80% or whatever that you provided. But of course, that's not how it works. It's just bull. It's totally bullshit. That's how it should work to keep all these slumlords out of freaking LA.
For sure. But, anyway, Samantha's having a great time, and they talk about having it all. And Charlotte says she didn't feel like that she really had it all until she met Trey. And we'll kind of leave that there. And Samantha yells out the window, "You see us, Manhattan, we have it all," which they use a lot in like promos for the show. But then I do like within the show, this episode, someone yells back, "Fuck you," and she yells back, "You wish." And I'm like, that's the real New York moment.
Yeah, she said, "You wish." Yeah, that's 100% a New York moment because I heard that plenty of times walking around, just like people yelling at each other in windows from the street, like "Fuck you, fuck off."
So we'll kind of skip over the next scene and get to Samantha catches the flu after her little housewarming party, and she goes to close the curtains and the curtain rod breaks and she is feeling like shit and just wants like the guy she just hooked up with to come over and help out, but all he wants is sex, and she's like fucking furious because she's like does not feel good. She's desperate for help, and like later she's calling like all sorts of past hookups and still getting nothing. No one's there to help her out, which is a bummer. So finally Carrie is over there to help Samantha. And I have to note Carrie is smoking right in front of her sick friend, and I wrote because she's a bitch with a lot of eyes.
Literally the worst. I don't understand how
your friend can't breathe through her nose, and you're gonna blow cigarette smoke around her.
Like I honestly don't understand how like any of these women still fuck with her. Like the worst. She's the worst.
She's the worst. But then Samantha complains that she's like delirious, and she's like, I should have gotten married. Even if someone says you don't have a guy who cares about you, life doesn't mean shit. She's like, kind of like what Charlotte said.
Yeah.
And Carrie reassures Samantha. And like I feel that though, because I am super self-sufficient. I take care of like all my shit all the time. It would be fucking nice to have a partner to do some of that shit too.
Absolutely.
I just want someone to be like, hey, I ran the dishwasher and put away the dishes.
Well, I mean, and that's like, the thing too. It's like,
yeah, I'll suck like, your dick like
people
right
don't
now
understand.
For doing
that. Whoa! Well, there you go, fans of the show. If you
gentlemen,
if you want a nice
orderly line,
you want an easy BJ, you just go do some dishes, bro. Who knew dishes?
Amen.
Hey, listen, every girl has their thing. That's your thing.
It's not really my thing. It's actually, it is along those providery lines. Is that I like lumberjacks is always my big joke, but I do kind of like a lumberjacky type thing where it's like, oh, you chopped wood for our log cabin and you're carrying me over the threshold. Awesome.
But for
it's still being taken care of, but just in a very cartoony way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But poor Samantha though, because like I feel bad for her because like she definitely needed help in that moment, and clearly like none of her friends could like really do the things that she need. But like also though, you can't expect hookups to come. Like that's not like here's the I'm not saying that it's not possible. There are some hookups where they're like, of course, if they're feeling you a little more than they like try to let on because they know it's just hooking up, they will probably come through. But I think most of the men that Samantha goes for aren't those kind of men that would like, it's like unless they're getting something in return, they're not gonna, hop on a train or get in a cab or whatever it is, transportation to come over there. Like it ain't. It's like that's the exchange rate that you guys come up with. Sex for sex. Yeah.
So at Charlotte's engagement party again, which we'll get into.
Also, by the way, if you are a guy that is hooking up with a girl, the moment that you do go over and do the boyfriend shit, the sex is gonna go away eventually. Like if you do it once, that's fine. But like if you do it more, if she can call you up and do that more times, that's good. The sex is gonna stop because then she's gonna start seeing you as a boyfriend. If that's what she's looking for, you're done.
And if that's not what you're looking for, you're done.
You're also done. Yeah. Because you're gonna be if she ends up starting to like you, guess what? Now you're her boyfriend, whether you like it or not. So just be careful out there, fellas.
But Samantha recovers, and at Charlotte's engagement party, she thinks that it's still insane and denounces marriage again, and is like, Carrie's like, weren't you like clamoring for a husband like a day ago? And Samantha's like, I was hopped up on cold medicine.
Yeah, she was. What was the? It was Fanta, orange Fanta,
and cough syrup.
Cough syrup. Low key, that sounded kind of delicious. Like if it's NyQuil, and like, but I don't know about the orange Fanta because orange Fanta is trash anyway.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says. If you drink orange soda, that shit is trash. You have trash taste buds. Sorry, come for me if you want to like and subscribe. But but like,
I mean, I never liked orange. I've never liked orange soda.
Pineapple Fanta, cuz it's pineapple Fanta. It's all about the pineapple.
So whenever like I watched Kenan and Kel and they're like, orange soda fucking is the best thing on earth, I was so confused. I was like, I've never liked that drink ever.
No one does.
I was a child, and when we went to McDonald's on like a school field trip, I asked for a Coke, and everyone else was drinking like the orange soda because they were like, whoa, that's better for you. None of it's good for you.
It's sugar.
But definitely, like, I think because the caffeine, like some parents were like, Coke, huh? And I was like, yeah.
Right. But you can't complain about caffeine when you're giving your kids sugar.
I was like,
the one gets them hype.
Orange drink is disgusting.
Yes.
Also, I don't want any of these, like the tomato and the pickle on my burger? No, thank you.
She's
Gross.
like,
And they were
yeah.
like, just eat it. And I'm like, no.
Get about it. Yeah, no.
I was gonna ask, do you have any, like, I've seen people joke about this. We were always big on ginger ale and like saltines for like illness in the house.
Oh, you didn't know? Oh, let me tell you something. In the community of us, ginger ale cures everything.
Yeah.
Heartburn, heart attack,
Yeah.
bullet wounds,
Mm-hmm.
terrible marriages. Like if you just drink a little bit of ginger ale,
Yeah.
you're good. Or 7-Up. 7-Up if you can't afford
If you're in a
ginger ale.
pinch, yeah.
If you're in a pinch, you can do 7-Up. It won't cure as many things but at least make you feel better.
Yeah.
Like if you got the flu, you drink some 7-Up, it'll make you feel better, but it won't cure you. Ginger ale, now that should cure you.
It's cure-all. I saw, and then there was a headline a couple of years ago that was like, ginger ale's not like that, the cure-all, people think it is. Here's all the scientific reasons. And someone tweeted it and was like, are you calling my mom a fucking liar?
Like, first of all, you don't know me.
First of all, you don't know folk medicine, clearly, because
but but you know what though? Like, yeah, scientifically, yes, it doesn't cure anything. But like, if you convince somebody and tell them their years, especially from like childhood till they get older, like their brains are gonna think that it. So
it's a total comfort thing. Like I had a horrible stomach virus like several years ago.
Yeah.
And I begged my roommate at the time, who was just finally coming back into the town, like to get me ginger ale. He got me fucking diet ginger ale and threw it at his head. I was like, that doesn't have the same curative powers, you dumbass.
First of all, you should have asked him if he was willing to pay your half of rent, because that's clearly what he was trying to do, is murder you.
Do you want to die tonight?
Like, why would you give me diet ginger ale? Like, why do you hate me? What did I do? Let's talk about it.
If they don't have it, don't get to give me 7-Up or Sprite or anything like that. But don't give me diet.
Jesus, what's wrong with you?
That's
why you're not roommates anymore. That was a straw.
What's your brand of ginger ale? Like a Schweppes, like a Canada Dry? I'm from Michigan. I'm supposed to say Verner's. I'd never liked Verner's.
I don't think I've ever had that.
It's nasty.
Before.
I didn't like it.
I'm a Canadian Dry.
I'm a Canada Dry.
Yeah, Canada Dry. Yeah, like it. Yeah, I mean it's
Schweppes. If I can't find Canada Dry, I'll do
Schweppes is good if you want like a sweeter joint.
Schweppes is sweeter.
That's a sweeter. So like if you look like Schweppes is good if you're mixing ginger ale with like alcohol.
Yeah.
I think that's like better.
That's where they normally sell it too.
Right. Yeah. I think it's better. I think it's better for alcoholic drinks. But if you're just trying to get if you're trying to drink just straight up ginger ale, Canada Dry. Yeah. Yeah. It's fire.
Good shit. Magic.
Magic.
So yeah, Samantha recovers, renounces her previous demands for man help, and goes on with her life.
Yes.
Right. Charlotte or Carrie? Who you wanna do? Charlotte? There's a lot to get into with Carrie.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is more of, I like Charlotte and her whole weird situation, and I like Trey because I like Kyle McLaughlin, as I've said 800 billion times, and I'll never stop saying it.
Absolutely.
So as Charlotte mentioned earlier, she feels like she has it all now that she has Trey. She really feels good and happy. So they're going to the wedding registry with his mother.
Yes.
Or no, sorry, the mom's not there, but they're at Bergdorf Goodman's, and they're registering for gifts. And Charlotte has expensive taste. And Trey's like,
but you know what though? I gotta respect Trey though, because like, even though he came from money, he still ain't ridiculous about it. Because he was like $1,300 for China, and she was like, "What's wrong with that?" He was like, "What? This is gonna be on display. You gonna make me pay $1,300 for shit that we never gonna touch? Awesome, cool, cool."
But on his way out the door, because he's got to go to work, he gives her the prenup.
Mm-hmm.
So she has Miranda look it over, and Miranda's like, this is all okay. But Charlotte's really upset because it feels so unromantic. And Miranda is like, this is necessary to stay secure, protect yourself. It's not just like, marriage is a merging of assets and stuff.
Sorry, people out there, little dose of reality. Marriage is not all about romance. I'm sorry, like that's not the thing anymore. That was like back in the day, maybe when
actually even less so back in the day.
So, because even then it was like people got together to like make their families like be able to survive. Like oh, this farmer, like I got sheep, you need fucking grass, I got the grass, so like let's get together. We put them shit together. I'll feed your lambs and whatever. Like that was how it was. Like there was like no romance in it. And here's the thing. A lot of if you ever got divorced, which was never happened by the day, but like if you did, the women got completely screwed.
Yeah, there was
you might want to sign this thing because at least this prenup came with something. You get something on the back end, you know what I'm saying?
Because Charlotte, it doesn't seem, this is a slight spoiler, but not a huge one. Charlotte chooses to leave her job to become like a full-time stay-at-home wife and hopefully mom. So she needs a prenup probably more than anyone to protect any little bit of money she might have had going in.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. And like I laughed when Miranda's like, I wouldn't get married with that one. I was like, yeah, not after dating fucking Moocherson.
And can you imagine if her and Steve got married? She would get so fucked because he's that kind of person. You can tell by the way he threw fits and acted all immature and had little, like little tiffs and stuff like that. He would just be petty and be like, oh, I want this. Oh, I'm used to a certain thing. Like, that whole shit that people say, oh, I'm used to a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. You only used to that lifestyle because I brought it to you. That don't mean shit. You go find it yourself.
Yeah. And then I left. Carrie's like, what would a man take from me? Shoes? And I'm like, yeah, you're broke as fuck. You'd make it out. You'd make it out of the marriage with a profit.
I mean, honestly, here's the thing too, because like in that, that prenup was a little bit like, a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, like some of the.
Oh yeah, well, because we forgot the key part that is fucked up is Charlotte gets a percentage of like $500,000 for every 5 years that they're married.
Yeah.
And gets extra money for having a boy.
That was the part I was like, that's a little bit like up. Game of Thrones-y-ish right there. That's like some medieval shit. Like if you have a boy, if you have a girl, you get nothing because they're worth nothing.
For the umpteenth time, it is not the woman who decides it. It is on the men. Because a woman can only provide the X chromosome, usually. Can only provide the X. It's what the guy shoots, whether it decides whether it's going to be an X or Y. It is not on the woman.
Correct.
Not her biology to decide the sex of the baby. But Miranda encourages her to negotiate.
Oh, wait. We also too, if even at the end of the marriage, she still gets what was it? It was like 500,000.
Yeah.
Even if they get divorced.
Yeah.
She was pissed about that. I was like, 500,000, that's changed your life money. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like that can get you pretty far. Like, yeah, it ain't gonna get you a brownstone in Manhattan. Sorry, but like it'll get you there. It'll get you somewhere, get you a nice place for a while,
You'd survive for
a little while.
You'd land that
your money, right? Yeah. Also, too, like you probably got family money. Why are you tripping on?
Yeah, Charlotte totally has family money, so it's sort of odd that she's so offended by this.
It's just the romance thing that she wants it to be like this. Yeah, she wants it to be like this fairy tale princess story that she can go and tell her grandkids when they're old enough. That's all it is. Like,
her Scottish Highlander comes in and gets her.
Right.
Which there is a whole romance sub genre of that.
Question now.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's hot. Why?
that was my secondary question. You got the second question in there. I was gonna ask is the prenup, like if somebody asked if you're about to get married, is the prenup something that would like make or break your decision to marry a person?
I don't think so. I think I would be okay with it if they wanted to do it. I don't know what type of person. I'm assuming I probably end up with someone like kind of on a similar financial level to myself.
Right.
So I'm not like loaded with assets or anything like that, but I'd want to like protect some shit, maybe like a 401k and whatnot. I just wouldn't want someone to be able to touch things.
Yeah.
I got a little, I was messaging with someone on a app and I don't know how much they make or anything like that, but they have kind of a shift-based job, and then I said I work in TV, and they got a little too excited for my taste. It kind of, I don't know. It's like maybe
sugar baby out
chill,
there.
But yeah, I was like, if you think I fucking surprise everybody, TV money ain't that much money.
Yeah, unless you're the star, that's about it.
And even then,
it depends on what network that you're the star.
Yeah.
No, because like that big thing is like I always want to ask that because like some people, when you talk about a prenup or even bring up the idea, they're like, so what are you trying to say? That like you're already bringing negative energy into our relationship. You're already saying that it's gonna fail, blah blah blah. It's like, I'm not saying it's gonna fail, but why can't we just in case? Just like you get fucking health insurance just in case, car insurance just in case. Like, just because I get car insurance doesn't mean like I'm going to get in the wreck. No, I'm getting it in case it does happen, and I can be covered.
And it probably also is useful for in case of, God forbid, death, maybe even, you never,
right.
Or, I know there's like living wills and things like that once you are married, but I don't know. It's just.
No, but that's it. Yeah. Cause like you said, death, like think about that. Like if let's say you're fucking in a marriage that you basically hate each other and you fucking die, and now all the money and shit like that should be going to your family is going to the person that hates you the most. You think they're going to take care of your family? No. If they're that vindictive to like that they hated you while you were alive, they definitely ain't going to be taking care of your family when you're dead.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's I totally get why it is like you're saying, like, and Charlotte's saying it feels unromantic and things like that, but it's, you just can't be that sort of naive about it. Finances are important. Finances are what break up like a huge percentage of marriages
absolutely
in the first place. So knowing and figuring out ahead of time how you want to address your finances in going into not just the relationship but the marriage. Because the marriage changes everything. It changes your tax status and health insurance, all these things. It's not just like, yay, we're married and in love. It's different. It's business. It's also still a business, sort of. As unromantic as that is. You can make your actual marriage as wonderful and romantic as you want.
Absolutely. That's what's going to keep the prenup from being necessary,
being invoked at all.
Yeah, exactly. Also, too, by the way, Charlotte, 80% of divorces are initiated by women. So who really has the chance of ruining the relationship? You do. How about that? So sign that shit.
Yeah. So I think it's like, I think if I got married, I wouldn't feel insulted if the guy wanted one. Right. And depending on where I was at, I'd probably want one too.
I will say this: both parties, if the person initiating the prenup or asking you to sign a prenup ain't got no money, you should be insulted. Because
that's actually a good point.
Get your money up first, and then I might have some reason to sign that shit.
If they're like, I want a prenuptial agreement, I'm like, for what?
Like, yes, Steve. If you ask Miranda
Steve's
for a
asking
prenup, go fuck yourself. No. Get on the fucking E train. Get out.
Because you're gonna try to manipulate that prenup to make it to your benefit.
Oh, absolutely. Of course they are.
In the event of your very much planned breakup. Also, question: do you feel like you learned the most about prenuptial agreements from the movie Liar Liar? Because I sure did when I was a kid. I don't think I'd ever heard of them until that was like the whole base of the case. Actually,
the first time I ever heard of a prenup, believe it or not, was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the episode, but there's an episode where Uncle Phil is like trying a case for like somebody big, and like they don't, of course, like that's not the main part of the episode. Right, they just like, he comes in, he's like all tired, and Vivian asks him like, how's his day? And he's like talking about the prenup that he has to, prenup fucking case that he's working on. But that's about as far as they talk about it. But I was like, what's that? And they kind of talk about it later in the episode about like what it means, and I was like, oh, okay, like an agreement. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, I was like, 8, so I still didn't really understand it, but that was like the first time I remember hearing what a prenup was.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like mine was Liar Liar.
Liar. I feel like that's like most people. if let's say they were in law, like Liar. That was like the first time it was like such a like prominent thing in any like episode or movie or anything. Like it was. That was the whole thing. Wow.
Such a good movie.
It really is. Highly underrated.
So good.
Yeah.
But so Miranda encourages Charlotte to negotiate, and Charlotte does, because she feels like she's worth $1 million in the event that, unfortunately should they ever break up. Because they're at Charlotte's engagement party and Charlotte still hasn't signed the prenup. Yeah. And she's really, really unsure. And Trey doesn't. Here's a big old red flag though. They asked, well, what does Trey think about all this? And she says Trey doesn't say anything. He leaves everything up to his mom.
Yeah.
Get out now, girl.
Yeah. Like as much as I like Trey, that's not a good look, bro. Like you gotta, you can't let your mom, you can't be like, you look like he's at least 40, 42, and you still let your mom make decisions for you. Come on, bro. Like you gotta, come on, my boy. Like that ain't a good look.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at Charlotte. Like, look, here's the thing. If I gotta sign a prenup, cool. But like, I'm gonna try to get the most bread I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, and it's a business. This is the business part of it.
Yeah.
You gotta get out your feelings. Like she finally got out her feelings and was like, look, I'm worth $1 million. Fucking put it on the paper. I ain't signing shit.
Put it on the paper, you old bitch.
Yeah. And she got her $1 million. So
you know what? It never really comes.
That'll get you at least a down payment on a brownstone in Manhattan.
Yeah. You know how Charlotte could have solved this problem was doing the arm rub thing. She never does it.
Oh, that's true.
That never comes up again, as you might imagine.
She probably could have got $2 million if she didn't reach.
Yeah, she was like, I'm worth $10 million after 2 years of marriage and extra for girls. Haha. Just fine.
That's what I would have tried to like. That's what, if I was her, I would have got my ending salary doubled for sure.
Yeah.
So back to her, and I would have got at least like I need $50K for the girls, like because here's the thing. At the end of the day, she's still putting her body through pregnancy, so she shouldn't be getting nothing for that because that's a lot of fucking work, my guy. Like I don't know if people understand that's going on to a girl's body when they are pregnant. It's fucking crazy. It's a lot of shit. So she at least 50 grand for a girl. Sorry.
The one host I work with today, her baby pretty much fucking roundhouse kicked her in the kidney, and she almost collapsed in the hallway. She got a major kick and had to sit down almost immediately.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
And I know it's like saying like because you get $100K for the boys with the $50K, but I'm just saying at least because she wasn't getting nothing, so at least get like half of what you know. Like if they're gonna be this like old school barbarian medieval like in the family breed me sons type thing, at least get 50 for the daughter because like
get something for your baby girl.
That's still part of the empire no matter what. Like you know what I'm saying, like when she grows up she's gonna inherit whatever because
Bunny isn't a McDougal by birth. She married in,
right.
But I do like Charlotte kind of stands up for herself because she pulls Bunny aside, and Bunny's like, well, this is just always how we've done it, the contract. And then Charlotte's like, what if I back the fuck out of this wedding and this engagement?
Yeah.
What are you gonna fucking do then, you old bitch? And she wins. And Charlotte is very happy, and Trey sweeps her away. And then the three girls, this is a kind of nice moment because Carrie, Miranda, and Samantha all leave, and they realize that they don't have it all because they don't have Charlotte anymore. And I thought that was nice. This is again kind of the start of the pivot to the friendship focus. Because those first 2 seasons were so much about like sex and men and dating and Now this season we're getting a little more of the friendship focus. It's kind of creeping in.
Samantha's still winning, bro.
Samantha's still winning. We'll get to that in a minute.
Still winning, bro. Like, friendship wise, like she's still the best friend of.
She's still the best friend any girl could ever have.
For sure.
And they feel weird without Charlotte, and it's just kind of a nice moment. Like I said, it's a little subtle-ish acknowledgement to your friend, because you kind of, look, I have married friends and they're not lost to me, but things are still different,
right? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, even when you even when you get into a relationship, period, like especially when it's new, like the first 3 months, you ain't gonna see that person for a while, like at least the first 3 months. It's like after like 6, then maybe if you don't, if they're not around, maybe you can like call that friendship a dub, but like at least the first 3 months, that basically just they're in a relationship. Just leave it be. You know what I'm saying? They'll hit you up if they really fuck with you.
And so it's time. Are you ready?
Sure.
Let's go get him.
Go ahead.
All right. The episode starts off with Carrie making out with Hayden, and she's like, I'm gonna go to get together with the girls. And she admits, and she is telling the truth there, at least, because she's going to Samantha's housewarming party. But as she walks down the street, she admits to herself that she is very lucky. She has a good boyfriend, good friends, and she slept with her ex.
Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what would drive you back to that. Like, you literally remember the misery that you were in, and you literally have experienced so much better. Like, your life is so much better with Aiden. He treats you well, like to the point where you were also freaking out because he was too perfect. And then you see Big for like a half second, and you have sex with him, and literally right after you just left your boyfriend. Come on, like how do you?
And she keeps trying to do all this crazy justification. It's only one time.
So, like a drug addict. That's what she seems. Yeah, she really compared herself to a drug addict in this episode.
It's totally true. Again, the whole and the cigarettes come back because it's all on the same wavelength of addiction with her. So at Samantha's, though, Carrie's helping clean up, and then she confesses the hookup with Big, and she's like, "Don't tell Miranda or Charlotte." And Samantha is like, "Look, this is nothing guys haven't done a million times before, so kind of don't feel bad on that front." And she also said that's bullshit that fucking Carrie said in season 2. I made that note. I was like, she brings
Samantha,
back...
you like, coming from her, I'm not as pissed about it because like she's still out here being a good woman. Like, and she never cheated on small dick dude. So like, it's cool. I'm a fuck with her on that one because she's still like like Carrie. She just, because she only said it to justify what she her fucking up.
But this is it's a fuck up too, because Samantha says nothing counts before I love you, and Carrie kind of questions her on it, and I'm like, you said that.
Like you didn't end the fucking episode with that exact quote, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I guess it's different because she only kissed the guy when she said it. She didn't have sex with him.
But Carrie, and this is one of the best Samantha moments, is Carrie's like, "Don't you want to judge me just a little?" And Samantha says, "Not my style," because, as we've said 100 million times, and we'll say to the heat death of the universe, Samantha's the best friend.
She's the best friend. Like, she would never judge her. Like, here's the thing. Yeah. Let me tell you something too. You could tell when Carrie told Samantha, she was just like, oh, "That's fucked up," but she wasn't gonna make her feel like shit about it. She's like, look, she already realized. She's like, look, she could already see that it's getting to her in some way, even though. Never mind, we ain't gonna go there because I want to say I ain't gonna talk about that. But like, anyway, she's like, look, it already, at least in this moment, she was like, it looks like it's hurting you, it looks like it's beating you up, and you just need a friend right now. So I ain't got no judgment for you.
Just need someone to hear advice. What you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I got an ear and maybe a little bit of advice. That's all I got for you.
And so after that, Carrie goes to Aiden's in like the middle of the night because she misses him, and they like definitely hook up, and she feels like as long as she's near Aiden, everything's gonna be okay. But then the next morning, Aiden's got to go off to deliver furniture, and she's panicked at the thought of being without him. So then she does everything she can at home to try to forget about Big, and breaks into her cigarette stash and smokes inside. So yeah, Aiden's gonna at least know you're smoking in the freaking apartment. Idiot.
Right. Yeah, no shit.
And she ponders if we're overwhelmed by too many choices or if we can have it all. Well, no, having it all is not cheating on your boyfriend. That's not having it all. That's cheating. That's cheating.
No, you have it. No. You did have it all before you cheated on your boyfriend. That's when you had it all, and then you made the dumb choice and took that away because you like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, it wasn't all her, because Big does keep showing up like fucking with her.
Yeah, he does keep appearing. His shit.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
he is dick crazy or vagina crazy or something, because he's like constantly threatening to like come up there and like barge in there and like fuck up her life, which is real aggressive and weird.
Which is also should be a sign that you shouldn't be with this dude if you're Carrie, because like if he's willing to just like run up to, like, come to your apartment unannounced, and like you tell him, I got my boyfriend up here, and he's like, I'm gonna come up anyway. I don't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about your relationship or your happiness at all. Then that means he ain't really trying to come back for you. He's trying to come back for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
he's being totally selfish, and like he's
not happy in his relationship, so he's trying to fuck up your happiness so he can feel something,
bring you back in.
Feel some kind of like control in his life.
And then for how long does he want you back in his sphere anyway?
And
probably
she
not
didn't think
that
about
long.
none of this. You see what I'm saying? Like she didn't think about none of this.
Any of this
We
through.
already just in thinking about it, like just in the seconds that we talk about, we already came up with reasons why we wouldn't fucking do this, and she couldn't come up with one.
Yeah. And then she can't forget about him. So she fucking calls him. And I just wrote down, God damn, girl, how dumb are you? And she says they need to talk, and she insists it's just physical. It can't happen again. You're married. And he's all like, yeah, but it was pretty fucking hot, wasn't it? And she's like, and then he shows up at her apartment, and they do it in the bed that she and Aiden share. What the fuck? And Big has the audacity to complain that he can smell Aiden on her sheets. Well, buddy, he's gonna smell you on his sheets. And then she tries to be like, it's just a one-time thing.
Nah, yeah, she said like what, like 2 or 3 times, or like twice in this episode, and fucked them twice, right? In this episode, yeah.
She's like, it's just physical. Shut up, you're lying.
Trying to justify it. Like, you can't justify it. Yeah. And then Aiden comes back home, gives her a big hug, talks about how much he missed her.
And by the way, Carrie points out that she slept in hers and Big stinky sex sheets for 3 days, and she's just barely stripping the bed before Aiden gets there.
Literal moments before he's about to arrive up upstairs, she's just now taking off the sheets. Like, this bitch is so disrespectful. Again, I don't understand.
I've written down the disrespect like so many times.
That's first of all, the cheating aspect is already disrespectful. So we're not even gonna just take that out. The behavior of you slept in the stink of you and your like come on, you fucking cheated on your guy. You gonna sleep in the stink where you cheated? Like that's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And again, I don't understand how women watch this show was like, oh, I'm such a Carrie. Why would you want to be this?
I know. This is why a lot of people have again over the years, show and character wise and like cultural impact, it's still good because she's a flawed character. It's good to see this kind of flawed character. There are male characters who have done the same as her and far worse that get lauded constantly. Your Walter Whites, your Don Drapers, et cetera, et cetera. Right. We still think they're cool. Don Draper probably in particular on the same wavelength as far as sex and whatnot goes. And we're still Don Draper's so fucking cool.
I never thought he was cool. I thought he was shit.
But
I always thought he was shit. Yeah. So was Walter White, big piece of shit. Now the first time I watched Breaking Bad, I was like, oh man, he's awesome. Then I watched it again, I was like, oh, Walter White's an awful human being. Yeah.
And he's selfish, the part that just always broke my brain in the whole series of Breaking Bad is when they're at the like rich friend's house, and their rich friend is like, I will help you financially with all the cancer treatment stuff. You got kind of boxed out of the company. Let me kind of make it up to you now. As in your truly greatest time of need, you have a wife, you have 2 children, and Walter White has the audacity to be like, no, because it hurts his pride, and he's gonna sell the meth and everything like that. It's stupid. That's so selfish and stupid. And as he says in the finale, he never really ultimately he did it for him, which is true.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And this is Carrie's doing this for her. She wants both of these things. She can't decide between the two. She wants to like have her cake and eat it too, as the phrase goes. Yes. And some people are selfish and greedy like that. So
yeah, she definitely is. And like she definitely doesn't deserve Aiden. Like I just feel bad for him because he's like coming home. He like drops the L-bomb on her.
Yeah, he says, I love you. And she's so taken aback. She's like, I love you too. And so I wrote down, so no more hooking up, right, Miss Missy? And he carries her, and then he picks up Carrie and carries her over to the bed. And I'm like, you are so lucky, you stupid bitch. Because one, she just barely stripped the bed in time for him to not be like, why does this smell like stinky sex? And also, I just want someone to pick me up and throw me out of bed. That'd be nice. You lucky broad.
Yeah. Oh, also too, she lost this dog. What a bitch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're getting to that.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. I jumped ahead. I'm just sorry. I just thought about that as a person who loves dogs, and I was like, you fucking bitch. Like, if she'd got ran over by a taxi cab, this series would have been awesome. I'd be like, all right, I get why people watch it because this is the moment where it gets awesome. Okay, cool.
So then it's insane though, because she goes a week without cigarettes or Big, and she starts to feel like she kicked her bad habits, and then Big calls out of the blue, and she's like, hey, I'll talk to you later, Miranda. And he's like, because he's like, I'm coming up, and I need to see you, and she says if she doesn't come down, he'll come up. Like we were saying earlier, he will just go ahead and fuck up her life for his own selfish fucking purposes. So Carrie's like, I'm gonna take Pete for a walk. She doesn't even like the fucking dog. She just barely likes this poor dog. And then she goes outside, and Big's like, he says he just wants Carrie after she accuses him of wanting both too. Right. They're pot and kettle in this situation. He wants both things too. He wants to be married, he wants the younger wife, but he still wants Carrie too. And he's not committing to either thing.
Well, it's also a little his situation is a little bit more difficult for him to get out of, because divorce is a process. It's a long process. And Natasha ain't gonna let that shit go smoothly, especially if she finds out that he wants a divorce because of fucking Carrie. Shit, she gonna fuck his world up.
And he keeps saying, I'm going to tell her though, and Carrie keeps saying, you can't. Right. Because he's and she's saying, she also rightfully says to him, you can't come into my life and fuck it up. And he says, hey, two people are doing the fucking here, like, which is totally true. He could,
no, he's right. I won't fault him for that.
Yeah. And I wrote down, because what's stupid is she keeps acting like she's innocent or being like tricked into this. Right. And she keeps acting on impulse.
Stumbling onto his dick, like, oh shit, I fell and he was inside me. Oh God. This happens all the time.
She acts like he's the only one doing any calling, lest we forget early in the episode, she called him in the first place after the hookup, which she could have not done and just been done with it. Theoretically.
Easy. Yeah, because here's the thing, not calling him would have let him know that was a one-time thing, that it's over, and that whatever is fucked up in his life, he just got to figure it out. But when you call him, you open that window, and he thinks that he can come back to your life now, hence why he showed up at your apartment while your boyfriend was up there with you.
Yeah. So she loses Pete, though, and she's chasing the dog, Big's chasing her, which again, he keeps pace, so we know he let her go at the opera.
Absolutely.
And she loses track of the dog, and she gets Big to leave her alone. And so she looks for the dog in the rain and all dramatic and whatnot. And so she goes home to confess to losing the dog and everything. But then guess who's at home? Pete. And Pete's like, I know what you fucking did.
That's why he ran away. He was like, I gotta get away.
He's like, I can't be near this
cheating ass bitch. This toxic ass bitch. I gotta get away from
here. My favorite part though is she's like, oh my God, Pete, hi, come here. And the dog doesn't go to her. And I'm like, that's because he fucking knows.
He didn't even look at her.
That dog was like,
didn't even look at her. He was like, hell no, this bitch is back.
Don't even pretend with me. You disgust me. I'm gonna go shit in one of your fancy ass shoes. God damn it!
Straight up. He was trying to lose her. He was like, I was hoping she wouldn't make it back home. I was hoping she'd be all around the city looking for my ass.
Yeah, and that always confuses me, and we'll get to that in a second. And she's like in tears and apologizing, and Aiden's like, oh, he's a dog. He runs away, but he finds his way back. And then he asks Carrie if she's cheating, because he can smell something, and by something and cheating he means cigarettes. And so she admits to smoking again, and he's like, are you gonna quit? And she's like, I am. I want to, and that's the honest truth, except it's not, because you are still a dirty stinking cheater.
Oh, by the way, we live in a great city because there was a survey. The website Ashley Madison.
Yeah, we're
so basically it's for people in relationships or married can go to hook up with other people.
Yeah, and a bunch of Republican senators got busted on it a while ago. Family values people.
Well, they did the top 20 cities where the most infidelity is, and LA was not even in the top 20.
Well done, LA.
Yes, well done, LA. Neither was New York, by the way.
Oh, well done, New
York. Upstate New York was. Buffalo, New York was in the top 20, but no other place in New York. So LA, New York, you're doing all right.
Interesting.
Contrary to fucking Carrie out here fucking up y'all reputation.
Ruining the statistics.
But they weren't in the top 20. We didn't say it was 25 or 30. They could be in that one, but they weren't in the top 20, and that's what matters. They weren't even, because I was like watching the survey, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna be like in top 5. But nope. Never made it. Miami's actually in the top 5, one of the top 5 cities, which I get. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's Miami.
It makes sense. Yeah.
So that's the end of the episode with Carrie claiming she's kicked her habit again, or is going to kick the habit again.
Jesus. Poor Aiden, man. And that's the thing too, like,
does not deserve this.
When he finds out, he shouldn't even be heartbroken. He should be like I just hope a girl just drops right in his lap as soon as she confesses. And he's like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm taking Pete in my fucking woodwork. You know what he should do? He should unstrip her fucking floors again.
He should fuck up those floors.
He should fuck them up. Be like, you know what? You didn't appreciate. Because here's the thing, low-key, if she confesses everything, she tells him like the first time she hooked up with him. That's exactly what I'd be like. So wait, while I was doing your floors, you was fucking him. Oh, these floors are with me. I'm taking.
I'm taking these
fucking wood
plank by plank, baby.
All
these are
my
mine.
wood is coming back. Wood, nails, everything. You can go fucking pay for it yourself to get it fixed.
I'm gonna turn these back into a fucking tree.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up. I would take all the planks and fucking nail them together in a tree and be like, here, you go get your floor outside. I would leave.
Here's your fucking floor.
Here's your fucking floor. In tree shape, bitch. Wow.
So, Chris, where can they find you on the internet?
They can find me at Mack Diddy Combs on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Venmo, Cash App, any of those things, you know.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Elizabeth Movies, and you can find us, the show, on Instagram at Show Me What Podcast, and that will take you to all our various online portals, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and as always, candle time. It's candle time. We'll have all the stuff in the description below, but Arlo Australia, and use promo code Show Me Miss, all caps, and you'll save 10%, right?
Yeah, 10%.
10%.
See
Good deal for the holidays. She's got some holiday options coming up.
Yes, you got some fall scents that are limited time only. So be sure to check those out because they are fire. Trust me.
And that's it for this episode. We'll see you again next week.